Good evening, BookTube, YouTube. This is Johnny. Thought I'd make another video. It's only been maybe not even 24 hours since I made a video. But I want to show you the used books I got at thrift stores, Blue Stockings bookstore, and the Book Nook. And so I can put them away and start fresh. Tomorrow is a new week. Today is a Saturday. It is, according to my composition notebook I wrote last night. Let me see, it says here April 22nd was a Friday, so today is a Saturday. It's the 3rd of April. It is about 20 to 8 at night here. Today we had a really hot day here in West Michigan. It got to 83 degrees, but it's supposed to get back in the 40s next week. So I don't know why there's warm weather, but as I wrote in my paper diary, and maybe at my online diary, that when you have these strange weather patterns, it's a sign of the last days that we're coming to the end of this world. And so you have droughts and plagues and wars and decadence and all signs that the Lord's coming back soon. So I thought first of all, I told you I was going to get some books in the mail, and I think I said Kingsley Ames. I think it's Kingsley Amos. I got 3 of these. It was his birthday, or they had some special 30% off. So I ordered 3 and I got them in the mail. Alterations, which is supposed to be his science fiction novel. Alterations by Kingsley Amos, introduced by William Gibson. I collect his writings. He writes science fiction. So I got that one. And then I got, this is supposed to be a ghost story by Kingsley Amos, The Green Man. And then I got his short stories, Dear Illusion, collected stories by Kingsley Amos. I already had this book by Kingsley Amos, Everyday Drinking, Distilled Kingsley Amos, introduction by Christopher Hitchens. I think that what this is his writings on drinking. And then I had One Fat Englishman, a novel by Kingsley Amos. This is his first novel that he achieved his fame. Lucky Jim, Kingsley Ames. This came out in, when was this published? 1953. This is what made him famous. And then I have Difficult Girls by Kingsley Amos. And then Stanley and the Women by Kingsley Amos. I have 2 biographies on Kingsley Amos. A biography by Eric Jacobs on Kingsley Amos. And then I have this huge biography on Kingsley Amos by Zachary Leader, Pulitzer Prize finalist for biography, The Life of Kingsley Amos. He also, I don't have it, but he edited the letters of Kingsley Amos, which I haven't got yet, but so that's my Kingsley Amos collection. As you all know, that his son was Martin Amos, a very famous British writer who I also collect. And yeah, I want to get into reading Kingsley Amos since I'm into his son. So I got these 3 today. Alterations, science fiction by Kingsley Amos. A ghost story, The Green Man by Kingsley Amos. And his collected stories, just Dear Illusion, collected stories of Kingsley Amos. So now we get to the used books. I I collect Tom Robbins, and I found this one, I think it came into the Book Nook. Villa Incognito. As you know, I have his novel. He's very famous for his novel, Another Roadside Attraction, Even Cowgirls Get the Blues, Still Life with a Woodpecker, Jitterbug Perfume, Skinny Legs and All, Half Asleep in Frog Pajamas, Fierce Invalids Home from Hot Climates. So I didn't have this one. And then I found a book by Nabokov that came into the book nook that I didn't have. And this is called Strong Opinions, which are interviews, articles, and editorials by Nabokov. And this is a memoir. You know, I collect memoirs, and this is called On Mexican Time, A Life in San Miguel by Tony Cohan. I don't know, I just like memoirs, and it wasn't underlined. It was only like, you know, I don't know, $1.50, I think. This came into the book nook, War Like No Other, How the Athenians and Spartans Fought the Peloponnesian War by Victor Davis Hanson. I have several books on the Peloponnesian War, and I just wanted to add it to those other books. This is by Harriet Dewar, The Tigers in the Grass, Stories and Other Inventions. I have other books by her which I can't find in my library, but I collect her writings. I used to have them. I can't find them. I also collect the writings of Nathaniel Philbrick. This is his book, The Last Stand, Custer, Sitting Bull, and the Battle of Little Bighorn. Yeah, he wrote that famous book on Moby Dick and the whale. He wrote The Mayflower, which is very famous. I have a big stack of his books. I didn't have this one in my Philbrick collection. I have already this is William Gaddis' novel, The Carpenter's Gothic, but I just like the cover of it, and I already have it in another edition, Gaddis. I found this at Salvation Army, Common Landscape of America from 1850 to 1845. It just traces how the landscape of America changed from farming, industrialization, the railroad, all these changes throughout the landscape of America. This is by John R. Stego. And it looked really interesting. It was winner of the 1982 Francis Parkman Prize for Literary Distinction in his writing of history. I collect books on the Francis Parkman Prize. I have several of those, so I picked this up. I also collect this. This is really a find for me at Salvation Army. Keep the Change by Thomas McQuain. I collect him. He's one of my favorite writers, along with Jim Harrison. And this is a real find, and I was really pleased to find it. I usually don't find his books, especially ones I don't have. And it's not a library withdrawal. It's in perfect condition. It was published in 1989. So I was pleased to find this. There's a picture of him in the back. He writes about the West. He's just a writer that needs to be more well known. I picked this up because I collect books on families like the Fords, the Vanderbilts, the Rockefellers, people like that. This is on the DuPont, Henry F. DuPont in Witherland, which is a very famous garden. It was on PBS a while back, and I don't know, I just looked. It's a memoir written by Ruth Lord in a foreword by R.W.B. Lewis. This is, okay, it's called Henry F. DuPont and Witherthor, A Daughter's Portrait. So, I don't know. It just looks interesting, like American history, memoir, biography of the DuPonts. This is on the Oxford movement in Britain, Parting of Friends, Wilberforce and Henry Manning by David Newsom. This was published by a Christian publisher, Erdmans. And I just got a book on Wilberforce, so I just grabbed this one. And I found this at Bibles to Mexico North Side, Vienna in the Biedermeier era by Robert Wischenberger. I collect books on Vienna. And it was only $1 and all about Vienna. It has all kinds of illustrations in it and history of Vienna. I got all kinds of books on Vienna. Vienna is like the modernism, Freud, psychoanalysis, art, literature. It was a very important city when it comes to literature and art, music. This is a book by Stuart Onan, I have his novels, and I didn't know he wrote this book. I found this at the Humane Society bookstore, thrift store, The Circus Fire, The True Story of the American Tragedy by Stuart Onan. It's a nonfiction about this fire that took place back in the 1944 at Hartford. Then I found, this is The Diary of Virginia Woolf, edited by Anne Oliver Bell and assisted by Andrew McNally. This is volume 2. I had volume 1, volume 3, and volume 4. I didn't have volume 2. Now I need volume 5, and I got the complete edition of The Diary of Virginia Woolf. So now I got to find volume 5, but I didn't have volume 2, which came into the Book Nook from my Virginia Woolf. I have 2 novels by this guy. I never have read him. I found one at the Humane Society and one at the Gateway Rescue Mission thrift store. Now this is a ministry, The Ministry of Special Cases by Nathaniel Englander. And then I found this one at another thrift store, Nathaniel Englander, Dinner at the Center of the Earth. I have his short stories, but I can't find them. He did a short stories called When We Talk About Anne Frank, and I can't find it in my library. But I found 2 novels by him at thrift stores. And then I found a biography on Marco Polo by Lawrence Bergreen. I have 4 other biographies. I have one he wrote on Casanova, one he wrote on Al Capone, and he wrote one on Over the Edge of the World, Macmillan's Terrifying Circumnavigation of the Globe. He wrote on James Agee, A Life, which I don't have. I had Louis Armstrong, Extravagant Life. I can't find it. I have his life of Irving Berlin, 1,000 Cheers. So I have 4 other biographies, but I didn't have his biography on Marco Polo, From Venice to Exilando. So then I found a memoir by D. Brown, who wrote the very famous book, Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. This is his little memoir about his life, D. Brown. This was a politician at the time of Theodore Roosevelt. He was a progressive around the turn of the century. His name was David M. La Follette. It's called Robert M. La Follette, Insurgent Spirit. It's a little cheap book by David P. Thielen, but I read about him all the time when I'm reading on the life of Theodore Roosevelt at that time in politics. So I grabbed this at Salvation Army. I had this book for years and I couldn't find it, so I found it at Salvation Army. Mating by Norman Rush. I have another novel of his that I can't find, so I bought this. And then I found at thrift stores 2 novels by Andre Camarelli, The Cook of the House Son, The Cook of the House Son. You know, he's an Italian crime detective stories. I found this one and I found this one. I collect these. Rounding the Mark, Inspector Montalbano Mystery. I collect these, and when I see them, I grab them if I don't have them. This is John Dewey's famous book, Democracy and Education. He was a philosopher, educator. I picked this up, I think at Salvation Army. And I picked this up at the Book Nook, The Killing Hills by Chris Offutt. This is Southern Gothic crime. And then I found a thrift store. I got this at Blue Stockings. This is a novel by Elizabeth Bowen, The Heat of the Day. I have this in hardback, but I found this for 50 cents at Blue Stockings. Vita, Sackville, the Edwardians. I've been reading this in hardback, but I found this for 50 cents. I grabbed it. This is Andre Malraux, Picasso's Mask. I collect his writings. This was only $1. I have a stack of his writings. He wrote Of Man's Fate, The Voices of Silence, Time in Limbo, Anti-Memoirs, Felled Oaks, Picasso's Mask. I collect them. I don't know why. This is translated by June. I can't pronounce their names. I don't know. I can't pronounce their names anyway. I found this at a thrift store. This is in Europia edition by Ian Williams, Reproduction, a novel. I got this at Blue Stockings for $2.50. Wrong Information of Being Given at Princeton by J.P. Donleavy. I collect his writings. I have 2 other novels by him. He's like a British humor, kind of black humor. And I found this at a thrift store, Grant Takes Command by Bruce Catton. This is on the American Civil War. This is on Ulysses Grant, and I got this, I have a Ulysses Grant collection, so I grabbed this. Got this at a thrift store by Pete Hamill, A Memoir of the Drinking Life. I collect his novels. He's written Tabloid City, North River, Forever, Snow in August. I collect his writings. I didn't have his memoir, A Drinking Life. This is Literary Criticism. I found this at Goodwill. The Romantic Agony by Mario Perez. This is translated out of Italian by Augustus Davidson. This is a little biography on Harper Lee, who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird. This is like a little biography in her, who wrote Killing a Mockingbird. Mockingbird, A Portrait of Harper Lee by Charles J. Shields. This is on a very famous jazz artist, Oleta Coleman. This is Harmonic Life. This is a memoir, not a memoir, biography by John Letwitter. I collect biographies on famous jazz, pop, rock, country artists. I don't, if they're really cheap, and they're good condition. I like reading about jazz. And this is a novel I found at Bibles to Mexico, True North, a novel by Kingsley Kappa. So those are the things I found at thrift stores, the Book Nook, the Blue Stocking bookstore. And so now I can put them away. Everything goes in collections. Most of this stuff goes with other things. So that's it here in Book World. This is like a Saturday night. It's 8:08 here at night on a Saturday. Yeah, not much else to report. I'm almost finished reading Love's Attraction by David Adams Cleveland. I read that at night, along with those other novels I've shown you. The Radiant Way I've been reading, Doxology by Nell Zink, and I'm reading that memoir by Mark Lanigan, and reading a book about imperialism, Great Britain, all kinds of stuff. I just read. I read, I write, I watch birds. I try to live a simple life. Try to avoid conflict. Try to avoid getting in any kind I don't like conflict, so I kind of stay to myself. So I hope you had a good reading week. You have a good new week coming up. I do thank you for the new subscribers. Do thank you for your comments. That's about it. So I'll sign off. And until next time, bye.